Hey guys, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and for today I'm bringing you a guide on all the dailies in the game. Since Genshin is an RPG, there's a lot of elements in the game that take time, and your progression, such as making your units stronger, getting better equipment, collecting resources and whatnot, will be a recurring thing you'll be doing throughout your experience. So the point of this video is to tell you everything you can and should be doing on a day-to-day basis, regardless of whether you're a pay-to-win player or free-to-play. Even if some of these don't apply to you at the current moment, you should probably still do them so you can be prepared should you need them whenever the time comes. One last thing before we get started, this guide was created for the uninitiated, so those of you who've been playing for the time Genshin has been out, you may recognize a lot of these dailies, but for the sake of posterity, I want to just be thorough. In other words, many if not all of this will be stuff you already know if you've been playing for a while, but for a new player they might not know. For those who want as much information as possible, links and references will be available in the video description for your convenience if you want to know more about dailies. Let's get started. The first and most important daily you want to knock out right away when you log on is expeditions. This is Genshin's fire and forget system. No doubt if you played other gacha games, you've probably seen something similar to this, where you take units that are sitting comfortably on the bench and tell them to do something productive with their lives. Expeditions can help you collect resources that are normally limited or not very easy to come by. For example, 3 out of the 12 available destinations will yield you white iron and crystal chunks, both very essential for forging materials and crafting enhancements for weapons, which do get expensive later on. It's generally recommended to select the 20-hour ones since they have the highest profit to hour ratio. Also, as you can see in the video, Chongyun and Keqing in Liyue as well as Fischl and Bennett in Mondstadt can complete expeditions in 3/4 of the time. But if you're doing the 20-hour ones, that brings it down to 15, which is usually longer than the amount of available time you're spent being awake anyway, so it doesn't make much difference. Always get these out of the way first so you don't have too much downtime of not getting any resources. At the beginning, you start with 2 maximum expeditions at AR 14, which goes up to 3 at 26, 4 at 31, and 5 at 36. Next order of business is to do your commissions. 4 random quests with purple markers will appear around the map at every reset, each being something relatively simple like a fetch quest, clear surrounding mobs, etc. Commissions grant you the highest amount of AR experience in the shortest amount of time. For example, at AR 20 you receive 200 experience from each one for a total of 800, or at AR 40 you get 250 each for a total of 1000. That easily fills up a large chunk of your current rank's experience bar per day. Not only that, but they provide you with the token amount of Primo Gems and some more to keep your pockets full. Upon completing all 4 of them, head on over to the Adventurers Guild in either Mondstadt or Liyue to pick up the rest of your compensation, to the tune of 500 AR experience, another hefty sum of more that scales with your rank, and 200 Primo Gems. Basically, so long as you do your commissions every day, you'll be able to get over 1000 AR experience each day, assuming you're doing nothing else, which in turn will lead to ranking up about once a week or so. The best way to get them done as fast as possible is to unlock every single waypoint and statue of the 7 throughout the world map, if you haven't done already, since some commissions may spawn far away, which could be tedious to get to, especially in Liyue since that place is humongous. It's important to spend your resin as soon as possible at the start of each day, especially if your supply is full. Resin restores at a rate of 1 per 8 minutes, so 120 resin takes 16 hours. When they increase it to 160, it will then be a little over 21 hours. Like most other games, energy does not overcap when you reach full, so every minute your resin supply spends topped off is time wasted not regenerating. I can make a more detailed guide on resin later, but a quick rundown is to just ignore artifact domains and leyline outcrops until you're AR 35, or better yet AR 40. Instead, focus specifically on the elite bosses for character ascension materials, whichever ones you need, and then talent and weapon ascension domains. Talents don't carry much import early on, but starting AR 30+, they'll become very essential for keeping pace with the spiking difficulty of content. It's even more valuable if you don't have max constellation on some of your units. So in short, never let your resin be full because you'll definitely need every single point you can get. Moving on. Next thing on your to-do list is to pick up all of your special items such as lampgrass, Cecilia, core lapis, Philanemo mushrooms, as well as cooking ingredients if you're big on that, which I personally am. Since many of these are limited in supply, it's important that you farm them every day because if you ever run into a situation where you need them and haven't been collecting them, you'll have to wait X amount of days before you can upgrade that character or that unit. Fortunately for you, all the necessary character ascension materials, as well as pretty much everything in the game, can be located via the interactive world map thanks to generous contributions by the community. So since each character has their own respective ascension material, I would first start off by getting the ones you absolutely need. For example, if in your main party you have Fischl and Chongyun in your party, pick up the small lampgrass and core lapis first, then focus on getting the others. You don't necessarily need to farm every single ascension material every day, but even for units that you don't use very much, like if you're carrying Ningguang or Xingqiu, try to collect their materials in the off chance that you may need to level them up in the future. Also, Even if you already have them ascended to their maximum level, keep farming them because when you reach the next threshold, you'll need to have them ready. Aside from that, cooking ingredients such as lotus heads, crabs, raw meat, fish, they should be hunted for as well to make important dishes like Adeptus' Temptation, since many of them are not available for sale by NPCs, and if they are, they don't sell too many. After you're done with your item hunting, start to do mob hunting. All weapons and units need supplementary components to enhance their stats, such as leyline branches, whopper flower nectar, arrowheads, masks, chaos devices, so on and so forth. During your time exploring the map and taking out enemies, you've most likely picked up some drops they leave behind, without knowing exactly what they're used for. Early on you'll have a lot to spare, but in the mid to late game you go through that stuff pretty much like Skittles. So regular mobs like slimes and hilichurls reference the interactive world map for farming routes so you can go from camp to camp without wasting a lot of time just randomly searching. This way you can get all the necessary minor drops you need. After that, head on over to your Adventurer's Handbook and click on the Bosses tab. In Mondstadt and Liyue, you'll be able to locate enemies such as Abyss Mages, Whopper Flowers, Fatui Agents, Ruin Guards, and Hunters, all of which carry their respective enhancement materials. Just like the Ascension items, these are in limited supply each day, although an alternative exists in that you can purchase more through Stardust Exchange. Free-to-play players won't really have this luxury because there are things of greater importance to spend Stardust on, such as Fates or Enhancement Ore. But in a pinch, if you desperately need some of them, it's not too bad to buy one here or there. Better to just farm them since they're not too difficult to take down even by yourself. Actually, technically speaking, these items are infinite in supply. I say infinite in air quotes because another method is that you could visit other people's worlds in co-op mode and take their stuff. Monster drops are instants, which means each player gets their own, but pickups like flowers and ores are not, so theoretically speaking, you can join other people's worlds and kinda, steal. It's not against the rules or anything, but just be nice to ask for permission from the other player if you can take stuff from them since, don't want to be a jerk and all that. Anyways, back to the video. Last but not least, mining. Same policy as the Ascension materials, run around with a greatsword unit like Noelle, Razor, Chongyun, or Diluc, or if you have Ningguang, she can locate ores throughout Liyue and pick up all the crystal, white iron, and iron ore you can find. This one is only if you've done all the other ones prior and still want to keep playing. Iron in particular is not that valuable, but it's very plentiful, while crystal is the most valuable but the least common, so if you want to be thorough you can just hunt all of them. As of right now, the only use for ores and minerals is weapon crafting and weapon enhancement crystals. But aside from Prototype Aminus and Prototype Malice, I'm pretty sure all the other weapons are kind of mediocre, and there are a lot of other ways you can farm enhancement crystals such as through quests and chests, so I never really see a reason to get them. Of course, I'm only AR 36, so maybe by AR 40 you desperately need all the crystal ore you can get. Either way, err on the side of caution, and if you have some spare time you should go play a little bit of Minecraft in Genshin. By the way, there are a lot of NPCs scattered around the world map that sell you various stuff aside from the general stores in Mondstadt and Liyue. I'll leave a link to all the available shops on the wiki in the video description for you to check out. Not all of them restock daily, some restock after a couple days or even after a week, but if you're running short on something specific like lampgrass, lotus heads, or raw meat, you should check out those shops, and some of them even sell you recipes if you're trying to complete your book. I personally always pick up the lotus heads from Boo Boo Pharmacy, the raw meat from Draft in Springvale, the crabs from Uncle Sun in Liyue Harbor, and the Philanemo mushrooms from Chloris in Windrise. Since the first three are necessary to cook Jade Parcels and Adeptus' Temptation, two of the best dishes in the game, and Philanemo mushrooms are needed for Barbara, Mona, and Klee, which are kind of hard to come by. Aside from that, there are also artifact NPCs that you can find. I think there are 3 of them. There's 2 in Liyue and 1 in Mondstadt. Alright, I think that's everything. I feel like I'm missing something, so if I am, please be sure to point it out in the comment section below, but I think I was able to cover everything. Once again, if you need more information, links will be provided in the description for your convenience. Guys, if you'd like to support the channel, best way you can do so is leave a like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Subscribe for future uploads. Be sure to join my Discord server if you want to play and chat with other members, and don't forget to follow me on Twitch and YouTube to catch my live streams. But for now, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon for the next video. Take care.